Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome into another VR accessibility overview. And this one is for Ghost Signal, a Stellaris game available on Steam for PC VR, PS5 for PSVR 2, which is what I am playing on, and the MetaQuest headsets for MetaQuest 2, MetaQuest 3, and 3S, and then the MetaQuest Pro. Now, first thing that I usually cover, is, for obvious reasons, is whether the game can be played seated. And I'm going to chuck a screenshot up right now. This is exactly the first thing you see when you boot up this game, is that this game is meant to be played seated. You can play it standing, but it is technically meant to be played seated, or it's at least more designed for that rather than standing. Now, I did say that this was on Steam, so does that mean that the Steam VR is supported? It's not just going to bump you out to the Meta VR launcher thing. According to the Steam store page, it does support Steam VR. So if you use things like walk-in VR, OVR advanced settings, that kind of thing, it should work without a problem. Now, customizable controls is a no. That's a no. The footage you're seeing right now is me going through all the options, but you cannot rebind them. I will add that whatever hand you set as your dominant, most of the game's controls are done on that. You can see right now, actually, well, really quick there, that pretty much all the controls go to one hand more than the other. So if you set everything to your dominant, you should be good. Now, I will add, if you are on essentially any of the three platforms, whether it's PC VR, PSVR 2, or Quest, you have the ability through either the Steam rebind profiles, the accessibility settings on the PS5 itself. Mind you, to do it for the PSVR 2 controllers, you do have to actually be in the headset at the time, otherwise they will not show up in the accessibility settings. Just the normal PS5 controller will. And if you're on the Meta headsets, then you can go into the accessibility settings and you can remap them. Now, at least when it comes to the PS5 and the Quest, I'm unsure about the rebind profiles for PC VR. I didn't have too much experience with them, but if you change anything, the in-game prompts will still show whatever the default was. So you will have to remember whatever that button used to be, or what it is now. Like if you change triangle or Y to the L2 or the left trigger, you're gonna have to remember that. Now, movement types. Really, the main movement type is the ship. You move the ship. You don't move yourself. Essentially, you can, but it is not your primary. You will either hold down the X button or A button on the right controller for whichever platform you're on, or you will hold down the square button or the X button, again depending on the platform, on the left controller, and then use either the I believe it is L2 or R2 or LT or RT, and then you will make little waypoints like you're seeing, and then the ship will move to those little points. Now, as far as movement, that's kind of about it. Now for yourself, you can move, and this is kind of going into the turning types. You can move the in-game world by holding onto the grip trigger, which for PSVR 2 is L1 or R1, and then go from that and move your wrist or your full arm left or right to then kind of rotate things. And obviously, if you are able to stand and all that, then you can just kind of walk around to see the game at different perspectives if you wish. But I do want to have both those mentioned. Now, does this game have any colorblind modes? You do see it is kind of a colorful game, despite the fact that you're just in space. It is kind of a colorful game. No, it does not. No colorblind options are in this game at all. You saw me go through all 8 pages of the settings. None to be found. But if you are on a MetaQuest headset, and that is where you happen to be playing this game, you can, of course, go into the accessibility settings on the headset itself and change, and then go under visual, and then I believe under visual is color correction, and then in color correction are the 3 typical colorblind modes that you usually see a lot in non-VR games, and thankfully starting to somewhat see more often kind of in VR games. But you can select which one works best for you right in that area. Now, do note, by doing that, it is headset wide, so when you turn it on, it is going to change everything. Whether you're in a game, in it, or another app, or you're out of it, you're just on your home virtual environment, any of that stuff, it's all going to change the colors to what that corresponding mode would have them be. Closed captions. Yes. You've been seeing it come up both from the little robo dude that is with you, as well as I believe some alien traders have or friendlies have come up, and it is all in text. The robo dude does have a voice, but again, the default is to always have those subtitles on and that kind of thing, so you will never be able to, you will never have a problem. Man, I get tongue-tied there for some reason. Okay, next up is difficulty levels. There are none. There are no difficulty options. And I think a lot of that is just because this game is a roguelite. So it's just kind of, it gets more challenging as you go. And not like you just, easy, medium, hard, pick one and just go at it. It's going to be that difficult all the way through. It starts off relatively easy, and then it just ramps up the further you get, and you have to be more aware and move things a little bit quicker. But that is about it. No official easy, medium, hard for you to select or any of that. Now, upper body and arm movement levels. How much do you got to move your arms or upper body in this? None. Well, you can if you wish. It is minimal. I pretty much had my arms on my lap this entire time when playing, and I was just able to kind of point whatever was being pointed at. That is what would be highlighted with the circles and all that, so I always knew what everything was pointing towards. Didn't ever really move my right arm either for the tractor beam thing. I just kind of pointed. The one thing you may have trouble with, at least I do, is whatever hand is not your dominant hand is gonna have the thing on it to go to another node. And for that, you have to rotate your wrist, or at least rotate the controller. So for me, I can't rotate my right wrist all the way, so I just basically let go of the controller and just kind of turned it enough to where my palm in game would show, so that I could select going to another node and continue on. If that is an issue for you as well, that's kind of the one thing you'll have to worry about a little bit. Other than that, you don't have to move your arms, don't have to dodge with your upper body or any of that. You can just sit back, relax, and just keep your hands and keep your arms and hands on your lap, and just with a bit of wrist movement for certain things, you're good. You are good to go. And that is going to be it for the VR accessibility overview of Ghost Signal, a Stellaris game. If this helped you in making a choice, or even just knowing whether or not you would be able to play this, or do you think it would help somebody that you do know who's maybe on the fence about this game, that is great. It makes me very happy. That's why I do these videos and the notes. I want to help other people in my kind of a situation and all the other situations as long as I can. But yeah, give them that. Down at the top of the description, always at the top, is the link to the spreadsheet where I keep all of this. This is now the 98th video overview, and it will be the, I believe, 134th set of notes. I've covered a lot of games over the years, but yeah, they're all there. Every game that I've done a video for, the link to that is right next to the notes in the spreadsheet. But yeah, thank you for watching again. Hopefully this helps you or somebody you know, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.